to it right now because I have Daniel and Kevin in the studio, and we're going to be talking about the Margarita Boat Show on Lake Conroe happening April 21st. If you're watching on YouTube, Facebook, I'll put the link where you can get all the information about like vendors, like what time to get there, where it's located, all that good stuff, because it's really important. It's out in Margaritaville, and people get really confused when they go out there for some reason. But they have huge signs everywhere. So we're here to talk about with Daniel and Kevin. What's going on, guys? You guys doing good?
We're doing great. Good morning to you.
Yeah,
Glad to be here.
It's good to see you again, Kevin. I think Kevin was on a show previously promoting the same event. So
Texas Ticket
a
week or so ago.
Oh, with Armando. I feel bad for you.
Yeah, I enjoyed kind of promoting. Yeah,
he's
a handful.
I mean, I don't think you even got to promote your event with him talking.
He's a very good anchor man.
I love it.
Yeah, we're here to promote the show.
That's great. I'm excited. And Daniel, how about you, man? What's going on?
Yeah, I'm excited. I mean, everyone should be excited about this show.
Can you get closer to the mic?
Everybody should be excited about this show. It's not every day that you get to have an event like this that's outside. You know, get to go be on the boats, be on the water.
Yeah, you were telling me that because, I grew up in Houston. The boat show usually happened, at like a convention center and with high ceilings. And I was always like, where's the tallest boat? Because it's pretty. I mean, really, but it's not enjoyable long term. It's like I could be there for 30 minutes and I feel like I've seen everything. But now the boat show is on the lake, so I can visualize my boat on the lake.
Not just visualize it, you can actually get in it and go drive it. Give it a test run on the water instead of just looking at it in a building on a trailer.
See, that's what's crazy to me because I don't know anything about boats and I refuse to drive boats. Because I know I'm going to crash the boat. I've driven boats before, but it's the safety thing. I'm always like, I'd rather you drive this because I know I'm not going to be able, I can drive on the water, but when we get to that dock, the dock's either going to break or the boat's going to break. Like we're going to hit something. So, but it's cool to see the different types of boats you could get. And then, because I imagine there's like a training wheel boat, isn't there?
A training wheel boat?
Yeah, like...
Is that what you're looking for?
Well, it's kind of like getting a motorcycle. Like, when I first wanted to learn how to ride motorcycles, I didn't just go for, like, the biggest one they had. Because I was like, I can't handle this giant thing. So I need, like, a dirt bike. So I can learn the mechanics of a bike. And then I can move into, like, a roadster or something like that.
No, I get it. And there's a lot of people probably that, can be apprehensive about their first time getting in or around a boat. But,
yeah.
We've got guys out there. We've got people that can take you out. It's really easy. It's not difficult. Just getting behind a boat and driving it a little bit, and all that goes away. You get comfortable very quickly.
Yeah, like the pontoon boat I could handle. Those boats are easy to handle. But when you're doing like giant...
That might be the hardest, actually.
Really?
Oh, in my opinion.
Yeah? Is that because it's like a square instead of like a point?
I think you'd be surprised when you get out, though. I respect the driving of the boats, but I've been in the business a long time. What I've seen... The bigger boats really handle like the smaller boat. So we see a lot of people come in and they start off with a 20, 21-foot boat or a smaller boat to them, what have you, and quickly they realize they want something bigger and they're better than they thought they were.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like there's a training process where you get used to it. Because my best friend's a fisherman and he can drive any boat and it's crazy. I go, how did you learn all this? And it's like, it's just a feeling after a while. He's like, it becomes second nature to you. So any boat, anytime we go anywhere, he's like, oh, I could drive this. I was like, how about, what's that show, Below Deck? Is that what it is? Like, it's like a TLC show where it's like the crewman on the yacht.
That is.
And I'm like, can you drive that boat?
No.
And I don't think he can. And he's like, I could try. I can figure it out. I'm like, yeah, right. But so when we talk about boats, we're talking about all types of boats, right? Like, is there sailboats?
I'm not sure with our little lineup here with SMG and Ski Dock that we're going to have sailboats.
So it's like, do they even have sailboats on the lake here?
Maybe not sailboats, but boats for sale.
I like it. I like it. Well, no,
I like that.
I didn't know. I just realized. So I went to school in Abilene, and there were a lot of sailboats there. Because windsurfing, I think that's like where they windsurf. That's where like the United States train for windsurfing is in the lake in Abilene. But here, I don't think I've ever really seen a sailboat. Maybe?
Very much so. Maybe. You see some in our Austin market, but not here in Conroe.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen a sailboat. Are you out there sailboats?
We're going to sell boats instead.
Yes.
Right. We're here to sell boats.
See now, oh, man. See, that's when you have to use the accent. We're gonna sail boats or sell boats. Sailboats. I mean, this is
Maybe we should
crazy.
spell
It's getting
it. Do we need to
confusing.
spell
Yeah, I
it?
don't know. Well, people who are listening, if you want to buy a boat, this is the weekend to go at Margaritaville. So we got boats, and I imagine we have all the everything that has to do with the lake, kind of like jet skis, maybe.
I believe jet skis are there, and there's a whole lot of other, vendors and kind of a market set up too.
Yeah,
So it's really
so it's
a
more of a
unique
family.
experience.
It's more like a family thing. So Dad can look at boats, and then you have margarita for Mom, and then the kids can go swimming or whatever they do at Margaritaville.
Yeah, there's
But
a
that's
lot
a
going
cool
on.
place. I don't know if have y'all been to Margaritaville?
I have. It's a couple of times for a couple of boat shows now.
Okay.
Quite entertaining.
So y'all are you're an experienced
lots
boat
of places
show.
to have fun out there.
Yeah, it's kind of random because you're like in Conroe, and then all of a sudden it's like Margaritaville. Like, where did this come from? It's almost like it got like just warped in, and it's like we're here for a while, but use this as you can because we're gonna leave because it's too nice.
Once you pull in there, you do start feeling like you're kind of away.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Like you really do.
kinda Get the little music going, the Jimmy Buffett Jamaican jingle jangle, and kind of relax out there.
Do you think Jimmy Buffett likes his own music now? Because I feel like it's been marketed so much. He hears it like at every meeting. He walks into his cool corporate building, but they have to be playing Jimmy Buffett. And he's like, oh, okay, I get it.
I think he sings it in his sleep.
You think
I
so?
think he turns it off.
Yeah, I guess that's the kind of music his music is hypnotic, if you think about it.
Wish we had him there this weekend, but we don't.
Yeah.
We have some other live bands this weekend at
Oh,
the show.
really?
Yeah.
So
we're
this
gonna
is
have
like
some
this is an
entertainment.
event.
This is an event. We're going to have like 24 boats or something floating
Oh
in the
my
water.
God.
6-8 different brands between the two dealers, Ski Dock and SMG.
Okay, so in the link I provided for the folks, it's happening April 21st at Margaritaville. It's a free public show, right? Am I right?
Yes, it is.
Absolutely.
Okay, so it's on the 21st.
21st through the 23rd, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Okay, so
10
it's a
to
3-day
4.
event.
Come
Okay,
on out
perfect.
anytime, yeah. Anytime during the day, 10 to 4. Boats will be floating. We're going to have demo captains. You can kind of check out what you like, get a chance to float around the water, maybe go on a ride if you like a particular model. You mentioned safety, and I bet Daniel will take you for a spin.
Heck yeah.
Well, I mean, I like riding in boats. I like going fast.
there
Like,
you go.
That's kind of my thing. I'm like, if anyone has a jet, I'll ride cockpit with you, and you just go as fast as possible. I want to do the danger zone stuff.
We can get you out there on the water. We can get you wakeboarding too. You
I like
just gotta- you
wakeboarding.
just gotta come
Wakeboarding
with
is a
the
lot of
bathing suit
fun.
on.
I've been looking at stuff. I was like, so what is those hydro surfing? Have you seen that? I don't know. That's the only way I can describe it. It's like
It's a foil.
it's a foil. Yeah.
Yes.
So is that just something that is it on land and the tube goes out to the water, or is that something that's all self-sustained? Y'all probably have no idea what I'm talking about.
I'm having a hard time picturing when you said tube and going out on
Well,
the
there's
water.
the foil has a tube on it spraying the water. It pumps the water from the lake up to the foil that pushes you off.
You're talking about.
Is that a foil?
No, he's talking.
This is
about,
totally
Are you
different.
talking about lake surfing, like a inboard lake?
Well, there's so many because there's three things that are new to me when I saw stuff about lake. There's the wakeboarding with the sail,
okay.
not windsurfing. You ever seen? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Where it actually has like they're being dragged by the wind.
Yeah, it's a
Gotcha.
kiteboarding.
Kiteboarding, but then there's also line boarding or whatever, where it's actually like a zip line kind of thing.
Right.
And
Let's call that cable park. Cables.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and I know the lake doesn't have that here. And then it's that thing where it looks like a surfboard, but it shoots water and they go up and down. They like do.
Oh,
Do you want me to
but
pull it up? I
I don't
can
know
pull
what
it up.
that is. You hooked that up to a wave runner, the little jet boot things to your feet.
Yeah.
I know what
Yeah.
you're talking about. I do not know the official name.
But I wonder, is it attached to the land and there's a pump on the land?
It's attached to the little wave runner that's floating around by it. That's what's feeding.
That's
that,
crazy.
The propulsion. Yeah.
So that's a show right there.
I watched it one time. I was afraid
Yeah.
the guy was going to crash into the wave runner.
Yeah, talk about safety,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Well, Daniel and I do wake surfing. Our
Yeah,
boats drop down the water, throw a big old wave behind them, get your surfboard out there, and surf for a long time versus 10, 15 seconds in the salt.
Is there like an ultimate hybrid boat out there that can kind of do everything for everybody, like the fisherman, the skier, the I guess I wouldn't call it partier, but like the lounger?
Yeah, I mean, there's some boats that kind of mix around and do a little bit of everything. Generally when people are looking at boats, they've got a couple of things they really want to check the box on. and that helps motivate them as to which direction they're going to go.
Yeah, because I remember my cousin got a wakeboarding boat, and he was so happy about it. And I was like, well, what's the difference from the other boat you had? He's like, well, this is meant for wakeboarding.
A wakeboard boat's going to make a big
Yeah,
wave.
and I was like, what do you mean? It was really weird. I was like, how's it different from another boat? Like, it's not like it's a 20 times bigger boat, but he was satisfied with it. He loved wakeboarding, so or he does love wakeboarding. I said it like he died.
Did you get out there with him?
Yeah,
Awesome.
yeah. I really enjoy wakeboarding. Wakeboarding's a lot of fun. I like all types of skiing. So I mean,
So wake surfing, have you tried that yet?
is that without being pulled?
Yes. You get pulled to start with, and then all you're doing is surfing the wave that the boat creates with no
Okay.
rope. Slower speeds than wakeboarding.
That's not fun.
Very fun.
Is it?
If you haven't tried it, how can you say it's not
Well, I'd
fun?
rather go fast.
You have to
I'd
give it
rather
a
like
while.
throw myself I want to throw myself over a wave and like see if I can do a flip, and just crash.
You can do a flip off the wake surfboard if you want. A dismount, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, and get some style points at the end.
Well, that's my
of it.
favorite thing about wakeboarding is like you have like you go out and you're like, I'm coming in, I'm gonna go for it. But I'm not very good, so it's like you just fly. You're like, oh, this is gonna be great, and then
Makes good videos.
yeah. Well, I mean that's one thing I love about like the water is it's you have no fear of like hurting yourself in a sense. Like I feel better than laying on the ground. So when I'm skiing, like I feel better. I feel more natural when I'm on the water than I would be like skateboarding.
Yeah.
On concrete. Like I
little-
would not want to be doing that.
Well, you owe it to yourself to check out the wake surfing because you've mentioned skiing and
yeah.
skateboarding, both fast, going to get hurt on that
Yeah.
pavement. Wake surfing about 10 miles an hour, low speed, right behind the boat, very gentle. on the
Why
body.
is that like a new thing? Like why would you want to do that besides wakeboarding?
Well, when you go back and look at it, you had traditional water skiing, which
Yeah.
moved into kind of wakeboarding, which now has moved into surfing. And surfing has opened it up to a much, much larger market. I mean, it has
Okay.
grown water sports
Because
insanely.
my buddies used to surf behind the boats in the channel, like the
Yeah.
big tankers, and
Yeah, okay.
I was like, that's disgusting. I would never be in that water behind a giant oil tanker thing. That's just gross. But he's like, oh, it's just a totally different experience.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, cool, surfer guy in Galveston, surfer in Galveston. But, I don't surf, so I have no idea. But I just didn't, I don't know. I guess the feeling must be completely different.
Completely different.
Yeah.
It is.
Okay, I guess I have to try it now. Okay.
Well, you should. Come out this weekend or next weekend.
So I can get some free surfing lessons April 21st.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
You come out and hang 10.
I don't know if I can even get myself up if it's like natural surfing. That was always the hardest part, is getting up quicker than the wave taking you. So you had to like balance right before the wave broke.
Well, I will tell you this. I have been around water sports my entire life, and I have never, ever taken somebody to the lake to teach them how to wake surf, and we have not pulled it off.
Okay.
And we're talking hundreds of people, ages, males, females, big, small, kids to 60-year-olds.
Yep.
It's amazing. That's why it's so great to the sport, kind of the new evolution.
So for listeners who are in Conroe in Montgomery County, the Lake Conroe is more of, I call it like a play lake. Like it's designed for the surfing, designed for those kind of events, right?
You see a lot of surfing out there. You see
Yeah.
a lot of surf boats out there.
And that's interesting because it's the lake is huge, but then it's like there's different little micro areas like bass fishing. I know bass fishing is really big on the lake, but then it's like is there like an agreed time where it's like, hey, bass fishing is from 4 a.m. to 9 a.m. and then 9 a.m. till 4 p.m. is fun time for the lake, and then you can go back to fishing at like 6 p.m.
Well, there's definitely shifts, I should say.
Well, that's
the
what-
wake surfers have their shifts. The fishermen have their
Yeah.
shift. We kind of know
'Cause
what
you know
we
those
like
fishermen
about.
are just like,
different conditions, different types of the day. All conditions are good.
Yeah.
Generally, like to get up in the morning, a little smoother, a little less traffic. Maybe move into the tube in the afternoon, just floating and swimming and hanging out with my friends.
Yeah.
The nice thing about wake surfing, we don't have to have the smooth water, and that's part of the new thing. If you want to go skiing, for instance, you kind of need some smooth water. It gets rough out there.
Yeah.
It gets rough.
For
And
sure.
Wake surfing, we can do it on a little, we don't need perfect water conditions.
That's funny. I remember one time I was trying to teach myself to come off on solemn on skiing, And if the water was rough, that was the hardest thing, just to keep straight. You're just like, all right, go, just go. You just go. Like I'm sitting here getting hit. But now the surfing thing sounds interesting, because that's why I liked wakeboarding, because to me that was the easiest thing to get up on. And then skiing, it's like your legs are always kind of going, depending on how choppy it was. But that's kind of cool. I like all this stuff. This is going to be interesting to see you guys April 21st. It's a free event for the whole family. It's all day pretty much. It sounds like Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It was like 10 a.m. Is that when y'all start?
That is correct.
Yeah.
10 a.m.
And it goes
10
all-
to 4. We'll probably be out there, even probably a little later than that, kind of hanging out.
Okay.
It's
we're gonna have-
Margaritaville, so we probably will be out there a little bit later, right?
Yeah,
Yes,
that's
yes.
what I'm saying. That's what's so strange. Y'all, is it the first time I've had it out there? You said like you've been to boat shows and stuff out there before.
We had a show there last fall.
Yeah?
I can't remember what month it was. A great show. Very similar vibe. We had SMG was out there.
SMG's a boat manufacturer, I'm guessing?
No, we're a boat dealer.
Boat dealer.
Yeah,
Okay.
just like ski dock. So that's what'll
Okay.
be out there is, several different dealers out there with a bunch of different varieties
Well,
of boats.
boats are kind of rare. Meaning, like, because one of my buddies recently bought a boat, but he went to this whole world. Like, he's looking for a specific year model, and like the engine, like the body model, and then the engine model. I was like, dude, can you just go to this one dealers and just be like, here's some money, give me a boat? He's like, well, I want this specific one to fit my fishing needs. And I was like, oh god, we're talking about fishing needs. But you guys are going to be out there, have a variety of boats,
Absolutely.
checking the boxes, like you said. Because in my mind, I'm like, just give me a boat that I can pull a kid, and then I can maybe go fishing. And
Well, you can do that on our boats.
yeah,
Danny, it's not easy. We're more designed to go skiing, tubing, wake surfing, wakeboarding, hanging out.
yeah,
Just because our boat is a wake surf boat, everybody's still skiing. Every boat that still comes in, we still see a set of skis in there.
yeah.
Look out on the weekends, big fancy wakeboard boats, wake surf boats. They're pulling tubes, pulling their
Yeah.
kids around. So it's
Well,
it's about time with the family. So that's
Yeah.
why you need to come out to the show, spend a little time with
And-
the family.
What the hell's the deal with the sound systems on boats? Like one of my buddies, all about the sound system. I'm like, you can barely hear anything, and he's like, I want the next person to hear me. I'm like, the next person on a lake is probably like a fourth of a mile or a half a mile somewhere else. So you want them to hear it?
They still want them to hear
They would
it,
still want
yes.
I mean, I was like, this is I hate this. I was like, I don't want to be on this boat right now because it's like, dong, 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 dong.
There is a volume knob. It's not that loud all the time.
I mean, it's loud. I mean, it can get loud.
Loud, yes.
And but apparently that's a huge thing now for boats. It's getting
Standard equipment. $20,000-$30,000 worth of stereo. It
I mean,
seems to be.
yeah, it's just like it's intense, and I'm like, well, there goes all the fish.
Not one sub, two subs, maybe
Yeah.
3 subs.
And then you have the engine, and that's making its own noise.
Yeah, engines are all pretty quiet. I mean, the stereos are something that definitely drive some noise. But I mean, you see.
Well, it's
that
like a
lot.
new thing. It's like a new. To me, it's like like relatively like 10 years ago. I didn't really think of boats having this incredible sound system, and now all of a sudden it's like, hey, you want a home theater experience? Let's go watch. Let's go get the iPad and sit in the boat.
Yeah, boats have gotten a lot nicer. It's really easy
Yeah.
to spend the whole day on the boat now. You've seen that happen over the years with cars, and that's where boats are now.
Yeah, where's the tech stuff in boats? Like, do we have self-driving boats yet, or what's going on with that?
Not self-driving yet, but lots of tech. I mean, lots of touch screens, lots of functionality. Like you said, the stereo, definitely different systems on there for creating waves, making it easy for you, understanding what's going on with the boat.
Well, creating waves?
Oh, yeah.
The coolest system we have is the cruise controller, because you have everybody trying to pull their kids and their family. And it's always been so hard to do the perfect pull, and the wives were intimidated with the big boat. Now you just push a couple of boats. You want to go wake surfing at 10.2, holds 10.2.
Yeah.
Very, very easy.
Interesting.
Yeah, and then you got a couple other buttons like Daniel was saying. Push a couple of buttons. We want a big 3, 4, 5
So
foot
you,
wave on the right
you can
side.
adjust
We
it
do that.
live.
Adjust it live. You can set up profiles. You could have your buddy Bob that comes out and he likes to surf, and you can put how he likes his setup, and you can save that. And next time Bob comes out, all you do is hit Bob Surf. It's got beginner surf, advanced surf, beginner wakeboard,
You gave me
advanced
Susan.
wakeboard.
I know you gave me Susan. Give me Bob. Shut up, Bob. Now, I like that. That's actually incredible because, back in the day, it's just go. Just go. And then it's like, try to knock me off. Let's see what you got.
There is a lot more on the boat. I got a inner smile on your comments on the stereo. And the stereo has, just in the last 10 years, we're doing more and more. Abilene guy like you, did you have an 8-track in your first stereo in your boat?
No.
No? Okay.
No.
I did. So this is like really just phenomenal.
Wow. Because I helped, my buddy has a freshwater boat, and I helped him install more speakers. And I was like, why are we doing more speakers? What's going on here? And he's like, you're a sound guy. You know how to do this. I'm like, yeah, I do know how to do this. But, like, I know that there's a point where you don't need more speakers because the boat's only so big. So to reach capacity, he's like, no, I want people to hear me.
I think there's always a lot of things that we don't necessarily need, right?
Well, I mean, it's just, I mean, he likes to party on his boat, though. He has playlists, like, just for his boat. Like, no, he won't let you play it at the house. He's like, no, that's the party. That's for the boat. None of that. And I was like, oh, okay, cool.
Sounds like good times.
Oh, yeah, he loves being on the boat. And ironically, he's not a freshwater, saltwater guy. He's one of those guys. Like, I refuse to take my boat to a freshwater place.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, cool.
Yeah,
So.
I mean, you have, like you
But he's
said
a fisherman,
earlier,
so.
saltwater and freshwater guys.
I think it's because he likes cleaning his boat every single time he uses it.
There's always those guys.
Yeah.
They don't ever enjoy the boat. They're too busy cleaning
Yeah.
it. I like to go have fun. Let somebody else clean it.
Is that something that people on the lake do? Is it like a
Absolutely.
service? I imagine there's. Well, because I always laugh when I watch. You ever seen the movie The Replacements with Keanu Reeves?
Yes.
You know the very opening scene where Johnny Utah, and that's from another movie. He's like cleaning barnacles on boats in like a harbor. That's like what he's doing. He's like a washed-up football player, and that's how really like Gene Hackman finds him. He's like cleaning barnacles.
Yeah, it's not a fun job.
Yeah, well, I know. I was like, that's a job? And then, yeah, I guess it really is. And I was like, oh, I guess if people don't use their boats?
It's gotten really easy to own a boat. I mean, there's lakeside storage where you're going to have your boat valeted with a tractor, so you don't even have to tow it to the lake. You don't have to have an SUV or any means to be able to get it in the lake. So, I mean, as far as detailing goes or lakeside mechanic, lakeside oil change, you can have everything done. It's really
That's
gotten to where,
nice.
just easy for anyone.
Yeah. Huh.
Yeah, both our dealerships do lake service. So something you could find out more about at the show this weekend talking to us, or next weekend.
Yeah, because that's
I'm excited. I keep saying this weekend. It's
next weekend. It's next weekend, April 21st. That's one thing that like that whole world. There's so much to learn, especially with boats. Like the boat thing freaks me out, but then again, like cars freak me out. So it's like when you're trying to go buy, you're like because you don't buy a boat every year, or some people do, but me. Like, I would buy a boat every, 10 years, maybe, But then it's like the whole world changes in 10 years when it comes to boats.
Just imagine cars 10 years ago.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. Like, when you go, my car is 12 years old, and I'm like, I want to ride this thing till I die. Yeah. But then it's like, but when I get a new boat, I want to be like Bluetooth. It's going to be crazy.
It is amazing. The blessings of technology in 10 years.
So, with everything that's going on at the lake, there's other boat stuff. You have boats, you got vendors, and then you have Margaritaville, of course. There's a plus. And then you said you're going to be on the lake, like literally boats in the water. How is that going to work? If I show up and I'm like, hey, I like that boat, you're not going to take the time to put that boat in the water.
We possibly could. The ones in the water will be similar to what you
Okay.
see, so we'll be able to at least give you an idea of what you're looking at. We definitely have lots of boats in the water, lots of boats on shore too.
Yeah. What's the biggest boat you can have on Lake Conroe?
Oof. There's houseboats on Lake Conroe, so I don't think
there
there's
are?
really a size.
Biggest we do is 26.5 feet, yacht certified. It's called the RI 265.
That's a great name. That's a boring name. So
No, come on, that's exciting.
you need like a cool name, like the Viking.
Well, how about this? Centurion RI 265.
No, see, that didn't do anything for me.
Man, I'm trying. Daniel, what's your model?
A lot of the boats have those.
He's a tough customer.
It sounds
know,
like
right?
it sounds like a paint color.
Our
That's what it sounds
26-foot boat is an LSV. They've all got some letters mixed in
like.
there.
Yeah. Well, I mean that's probably for barcoding reasons or whatever. For
usually has
the
something
warehouse for parts.
I bet that if you came out, we could wow you though.
Oh no, I know, man. Boats are amazing. I love because my grandfather lived in Galveston. He had a boat. And he was on the canal, and I loved just going out with him, just being on the front. I'm like, you can do whatever you want. I'm gonna sit on the front when you drive, and then that's the coolest feeling. And I always wanted to go on one of those boats that you always see like horrible accidents with, like the cigarette boat. What are they called? Like those really like crazy racing boats. So, like they look like they are hovering above water. You know what I'm talking about? What are those called? Longboats?
Hydroplanes? Hydroplanes?
Or it's a boat.
Cigarette boats do that, I think, as you start getting them, seeing videos of them going really quick. You also see, there's boats that are racing that do that too. But yeah, where
So I wanna go
basically
on
all you're
those.
seeing is just the lower part of the engine in the water most of the time.
Like I was watching the documentary Cocaine Cowboys,
Ah.
and one of the guys, that's what he loved doing, was racing boats. And I was like, "See, and I want to be on one of those boats. But there's only one room for one person, like literally as a cockpit." And I was like, "Do y'all sell those boats?"
Maybe you could
Well,
get
they did look fun.
I know. I mean,
did.
that looks fun.
I watched that.
I was like, man, that's different. Like that's they literally made a boat for one person. That must mean it goes really fast.
Yeah.
But we don't sell that at Margaritaville's boat show.
No, we're not going to have those.
That's all right.
Very specialty item, I think.
Okay.
We're selling the family margarita.
I know. I'm giving you a hard time. I'm giving you a hard time. No, I'm telling you.
But maybe we could get somebody with one of those to pull you wakeboarding behind it at those speeds. Because that'd be fun for us to watch.
Yeah, that would probably last. If I had to guess, maximum 4 seconds, and that's even if you count it if I get the board like level with the water, because I feel like I would go forward and the board I would get sucked out of the board, and then
I think there's some horsepower in those boats.
You ever been barefoot skiing?
Absolutely, yeah.
That's wild.
And you've tried that before?
Yes.
Awesome.
And I remember when someone like, oh, we can do this. I was like, people do that? How do you do that? And it's
Very fast. That's
I know. That's what I'm saying. It's really wild.
Very fast and with calm water.
Yes, because your feet will be in trouble after a
I
while.
kind of call it fast face plant.
Yeah.
Coming.
I mean, there's different. I mean, yeah. And whatever happened to kneeboarding? What that fad went away real fast after the '90s.
Yeah, as wakeboarding came out, it drove some of those, I guess, maybe less participation sports down a little bit. You used to have maybe, it was kind of like kneeboarding. You'd have maybe 10 or 15 different kneeboards on a shelf, and that was what people were shopping for. And as wakeboarding came out, that just took off. And now you see surfing out, and surfing's done something similar to wakeboarding. It's really taken a lot of the energy. It's really grown water sports. It's made it more mainstream. You've got a lot that's been invested into the industry and participation with surfing. So
Yeah, because it is a lot of fun. I encourage because one thing y'all, I don't know if you guys specifically do, but I know the lake you can rent boats. So if you're not living here and like you're visiting, people rent boats to take the family off. But if you live in the area, buy a boat and come out to Margaritaville to buy your boat.
And if you don't live in the area, buy a boat and bring it with you when you do come to the area.
Yeah, I know you can store it here anyway.
Right?
I think there's a lot.
Take it with you. There's lakes all around the country.
I think every like 15th building here is a storage place. So
They're everywhere.
yeah, they're everywhere. I love
They're
it.
everywhere.
I love it.
There's boats and water and storage units everywhere.
That's cool. Well, guys, thank you so much for coming in. We have Daniel and Kevin talking about the Margarita Boat Show at Lake Conroe happening April 21st that weekend, all the way to the 23rd from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. That's Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So it's 21st to the 23rd, if I'm correct. It's free for the public. It's at the Margaritaville, I guess you'd call it the
Resort.
Yeah, you can't miss it because there's like a dock. Is that where it's at? Is it like in that area, that little?
It's right behind the main building there. There's
Okay.
a huge dock you tie up there. We said we're going to have 24 boats tied up in the water.
Yeah.
You can't miss it.
That's
Just
cool.
Can't miss it. Yeah.
What is there anything else you guys want to talk about? Because I know y'all. Let me give your businesses a shout out. We didn't even say that.
Well, my business is Ski Dock. We carry Centurion and Supreme. We're an inboard dealer, wake surf, wakeboard boats. We also have a location in Austin. But the show is at Margaritaville next weekend.
Okay.
And then Daniel,
Yep,
tell us
I'm
about
with
yours.
and I'm with SMG Boats. We're local here as well. We carry wakeboard, wake surf boats. We have pontoon boats. We have runabout or bow riders.
I don't know what that means.
We do.
What's a runabout?
Think of your boats that you've seen. The brand we carry is Regal. So you've seen out on the lake, you're gonna just like a maybe larger boat with a bigger bow to it. So it's gonna have a V bottom through the hull. It just goes a little faster. Kind of how you said you like fast speeds.
Yeah,
But one thing that's going to be great is, and I know that's the same with Ski Dock, is we probably have the best inventory that we've had in the last 3 years. So we actually have boats.
yeah. See, I told you, boats are rare.
Boats have been very rare.
Yeah,
Very true.
It's weird.
Yeah. We're excited to have teamed up with another dealer. We're going to create some more excitement. Daniel's correct. We do have great inventory. I like to say we got the whole Skittles bag. Whatever color you like, we have got it right now. Whatever
Okay.
size should probably make you happy.
I know that's it. Well, it sounds like I'm a multiple boat person. That's what it sounds like.
We have those.
Yeah,
We definitely
'Cause,
have
I mean,
those.
the pontoon boat are so much more fun. to have fun on. And then, but if I want to go fast, no one else wants to go fast. So
Or if you want to surf,
yeah,
pontoon boats don't surf that well.
well, I imagine. Well, I mean, there's only one reason you get a pontoon boat, and so my mom can get on it, and so she can be happy.
Well, I
That's
think I've
one-
decided you're a multiple boat guy.
That's what I said.
So,
Yeah, I'm-
we need to sell you 2 or 3 boats next weekend.
It's all that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, see if we can find one of those single cockpit boats, and then see if they can let me.
Wakeboard behind it.
Hey, see if they let me drive it on the lake.
Well, you
I
better
feel
be-
like there'd be like a rule on the lake, like, hey, you can't be driving this thing.
You might be careful. We might, something might just show up.
But that's a lot of fun. Again, that's the Margarita Boat Show, Lake Conroe at Margaritaville, happening April 21st. It's free for the public. It's family friendly. They have boats on the water. They have boats on the there's boats everywhere, guys. So check it out. We're gonna get back to some music. Don't forget, coming around 9:00, I got Rochelle and I believe it's Rochelle and the Rockettes, but I'm probably mistaken on that one because that sounds too convenient. I had to look at my notes. But we have a live in-studio interview promoting the upcoming Conroe Crossroads. So stick around. We're gonna play some tunes. We'll be right back on Mornings with Lone Star.